Okay, let's get some wake up sauce. So I've generally gotten used to time not phasing me anymore, but we're almost 20 days through January already. I've got way too many things that I want to do this year in 2019, so let's start off this year by ticking off a bunch of things that should have been done already as far as the end of last year. So we got some studio progress today. So I've had the main studio area built up and set up for a while now, but I've kind of fallen behind on getting it finished. So kind of got all my guitars piled up here in the corner. Yeah, it's not really the best situation for those. So I kind of want to get those hung up on the wall, but before I was able to do that, I need to build my acoustic panels that I've been wanting to do for a good while now. So I've got the matching fabric from extra curtains that I've bought. I've just ordered the products that I need to do. I just got to pick them up from Home Depot. So today and this weekend, we're making some progress, and let's take off some boxes for this studio build so I can start damn recording this album. Let's go. So today should be a fun little build, and we'll start to finally be able to control the sound within my studio a bit more. Get it sounding a bit more proper, and be able to start working on this album and making some progress. So let's go pick up these bits and get building. Yes. Okay, got that stuff loaded and acquired just in time as it's starting to fucking rain. An MDF plus rain, no good. Okay, so I've got my basic supplies picked up. I got the guys at Home Depot to rip this into 3-inch strips for me because to do that on my own would have been absolute chaos. So now that I got these all ripped into strips, got my installation, mounting hardware, everything I kind of need. Let's assemble some boxes, fill it with some insulation, and get them covered up with some nice purple fabric to proper acoustic absorption. Yes. Okay, so here's the basic layout of what the box is going to look like. Basically going to have these supports in the back so that I have something to mount onto the wall. And you can take a look at how the joints are going to be attached here. Basically, I'm just going to use a standard drill, wood drill bits, so that I can countersink for the heads of these. And then put a little bit of wood glue in between all the joints. So from there, one sheet of insulation will go in here, and then lay a nice piece of fabric on top of that, and then go from there. I didn't bother filming myself cutting up these pieces because it was super easy, and putting the rest of this together is actually going to be completely easy. So this is a nice, easy, and cheap way to get some proper sound absorption inside your studio rooms. And plus, who doesn't love building a good project? Okay, so since I'm having to do this by myself, these little quick clamps make things a lot easier when having to butt up an end and screw it in. So, little tip. Okay, so there's the basic frame all screwed together. I didn't actually even end up using any wood glue because screwing it all together made it pretty damn sturdy on its own. So, really happy with how that all came out. One little edge that's not completely flush on this one, but it's going to be covered in fabric anyway. So, okay, so I got one together here. I'm going to put one more together, and then I'm going to get the insulation put in here and get them wrapped up. And I think that should be time to get them hung. Using a bit of carpet tape to reinforce the backing so, you know, insulation doesn't fall out and it's a bit more rigid. Okay, and there we go. So that is ready to be covered in the purple fabrics. I had a badass pillowcase for the back of that one, and the back of this one's just kind of plain. But yeah, let's get these covered. Okay, so we're home. I've got the acoustic panels brought home, and homie over here in the darkness, hiding behind the mirror. I'm gonna get these things mounted up, and I figured it'd be a lot easier with the pal, so got the homie to help. So when working on your studio, make sure you have lots of good help.
I think the cats outrank me.
Good work, bud. The whole point of the sound absorption today is to kill the initial reflections coming off of the speakers. So while I'm sitting here, the whole point is on said wall, I'm going to get homie to hold the mirror, and we're going to slide the mirror along that wall this way until we can see the first reflection of the cone. Isn't that right, Coco? So from where I'm sitting, I can now see the cone in that mirror. So that would be the first reflection right there. So I just have to make sure that is the exact point, and then we'll mark that with a sticky and do the opposite wall. Okay, so the initial reflection points are now marked via stickies. So we've got the general idea of where to mount these things. Okay, well, it's the next morning because I didn't feel like making a bunch of loud drilling noises and being that guy, you know, late night in the apartment building. So next day, went and picked up a few supplies. Let's get this stuff hung up. Went and got some, you know, important supplies. Tim Hortons. Okay, so now that I have all my lines laid out, that I was able to mark them by putting the brackets together on the back of it, measuring down to find the distance of it, and then marking that on the wall, basically for the bottom of that. So put a level on that to get a nice straight line. And now I'm going to take the wall bracket, put it in center. Okay, there you can see I've got my holes marked out. So I'm going to drill some pilot holes, and then we'll use the anchors to get those set. Well, first one's mounted, and that looks ridiculously sick. I'm super stoked about this. So, as you can tell, same perps, because it's the exact same fabric. Okay, well I just got to get some pencil lines erased, get the second one up, and take a listen, see how much of a difference this actually makes. Pretty damn excited. The other thing I'm ridiculously excited for today is going to get my guitars hung up on the wall, rather than having them stashed away in a corner, stacked up on each other. So, let's get this done. Okay, and just so that this will sit flush on the wall, I'm going to use these little furniture pads in the bottom corner. Okay, so there you have it. There's my DIY acoustic panels. That was actually a very fun and quite easy job. The hardest part was running around getting all the supplies. So once you have all the supplies, fairly easy to do. I chose to use the same curtain fabric as you see behind me, but you can use whatever you want on these. The backing on one of them was a cut up pillowcase, and the back of the other one was like a random sheet that I found somewhere. So kind of use whatever. So yeah, once you get this sorted, I'm going to decide what other ones I want to put in here, but the main points of reflection were the first thing that I need to take care of. So that's about as detailed as I can do on maybe helping you be able to build yourself some acoustic panels. Because doing it yourself is not only more satisfying, but it always ends up being a lot cheaper than the stuff that they try to sell you for, you know, professional acoustic treatments. So okay, so now to get the highest guitar mounted up, and no, I'm not using these drywall anchors this time, because these ones are only rated from like 15 to, they say 50 pounds, but I mean, guitars definitely don't weigh that much, but they kind of mean a lot to me, so I'm using these big ass toggle bolts, which they say are rated up 265 pounds, so I could pretty much hang off of them myself. Just barely. I'd probably still tear it out of the wall. Toggle bolts. Guitar on the wall action. Let's get this Ibanez wall complete. Hell yes, I'm making some good progress. Finally got my Ibanez wall together. Got my sound absorbers up. I think it's time to dig out the Washburns and get them up too. So stoked.